Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Nacho Cheese.
And I am Unctious, and we are getting into this best of 5 beginning on Shattered Temple. This is another TBT, and it is the semifinals of the Small Time Tournament, which is a small community tournament being put together by a Reddit member named RabbitBot and Ben on StarCraft. And so as we get into this game, I'm going to let Nacho Cheese tell you anything he wants to about the map and anything else about this particular tournament and the $1 prize pool that it offers.
Oh, you gave away my secret. Well, as Unctious, my co-caster, alluded to, there is a grand prize to this tournament of, it's a cash prize amounting to the total value of $1 US. So these players are playing for a very big prize pool. We will see who comes out on top. Now, as Unctious mentioned, this is a small-time tournament. This is the second tournament that has been done in this series of tournaments. Last week, we casted a Gold and Platinum League tournament. This week, it was a Diamond and Masters League tournament. And while a couple people from lower leagues like Platinum and Silver did sign up, we are down to all Masters level players left in both the semifinals matches. Now, the other semifinals match did just finish up. I don't know exactly who was playing. I can check on the bracket very quickly. That seems like a smart idea. It was Sasquatch versus Fuggernaut. That's an awesome name, and it looks like Sasquatch 3-0'd Fuggernaut. And so the winner of this series that we are casting here will be moving on to play Sasquatch in the finals for that massive prize pool of $1.
Now, Sasquatch is a Protoss player, so no matter what we see here, we will be seeing a TVP and in the next round. Now, interesting thing to note is that the Doctor is opting to wall off his entire main base while Pewt is just trying to get things down as fast as possible, putting them right next to his main base. And usually, I think this Terran versus Terran wall off is usually done to kind of just entirely conceal anything that's going on in your base. It means that your opponent's not going to have any idea of what's happening, where you're going to be heading, what kind of moves you're going to be doing. Show me your moves, and you will not have to show them your moves, as it turns out. Now, this SCV's poking up will not be able to see anything except one barracks down.
Your moves will be hidden. Now, Pewt's SCV is kind of derping around that ramp. He will realize that, yes, this is where the Doctor is, and that SCV is going to be taken out by this Marine. The stutter step there by the Doctor, able to take out that scouting SCV before it sees anything. But again, because this wall-off was complete, he was not able to go up there and see anything anyway. An expansion going down for the Doctor outside of this wall. Now, as Unctious was saying, this wall-off would prevent Pewt from scouting anything, but there's nothing to scout. So what the Doctor is trying to do is just keep Pewt on his back foot, not able to give him any information. So Pewt has really no idea what sort of a build the Doctor will be going for. Fortunately for him, he is going to throw down his own expansion, which is at about the same. Yeah, they're almost synced, almost exactly synced. So they'll both be finishing up at the same time. Pewt throwing down a bunker in his natural to be able to defend this, and the Doctor opting to just make a line of Marines to block any scouting from getting in. He really wants to keep Pewt in the dark, and as we saw in the last matchup between Pewt and Comedians, Pewt does not perform well when he doesn't know what's happening. He doesn't like to get out of his comfort zone. He doesn't like games to go into what he's not comfortable with. And that's exactly what the Doctor's going to be forcing him to do, even sending a couple Marines down just to clear out the Zelmar tower. And now he's going to be pulling those Marines back and letting an SCV stay there like he was earlier. The Doctor just retaining vision and map control as he gets his expansion up. He's really able to do whatever the heck he wants. There's another barracks finished and a factory going down for the Doctor. Meanwhile, inside Pewt's base, he has a factory going down. So we will have 2 racks, 1 factory against 1 racks, 1 factory. Both players have expansions. pretty even in this matchup, but I'm just not sure. I think the Doctor has an early edge, and I'm not sure if Pewt will be able to compensate for that. But clearly it is very early in this match, so we still have lots of time to figure that out.
I like the supply depot placement from the Doctor. He's going to be able to scout any drops that try to come in and take advantage of that little piece of the main that is in the fog of war. And that's a very nice thing to do, whereas the Pewt has not even thought about taking that at this point. He's keeping everything around his main, protecting his main to the best of his ability, and it looks like a small unit of Marines from Pewt coming out, going to try to take that Zelmaga watchtower. This SCV is probably going down. He's watching them get closer, trying to tell his commander, hey, guys, listen, we're going to have some problems. And he does successfully care about that SCV, finally being given the command to move, but Doctor now moving in with his own unit of Marines and Hellions on the way. The blue flame is coming out for the Doctor. The purple Terran's Marine does not get out of there in time. Pewt was unable to get him out of there, so there's going to be a slight disadvantage there. It looks like at this point, the Doctor is going to be just keeping track of as many small advantages as possible. He wants to build up those small advantages one by one and take advantage of the bigger picture down by the end of it. So we do have more Hellions moving out, and once Blue Flame finishes, we're likely to see them kind of move forward, have a lot of map control. And that's exactly what Hellions provide you when you have them out, especially Blue Flame Hellions. You can move around the map extremely quickly. Your units are extremely mobile, and now it looks like we're going to be going for a Hellion drop. This medevac just picked up those Hellions, and he is rallying straight towards this untaken main, which he'll then be able to move right in and drop those in that little area, the fog of war area, as I was saying earlier. Going to move right back and take out, and it looks like he's not going to be able to take out many of those SCVs, given this huge wall off from Pewt right now. Those Hellions are going to have to take a long way around if he wants to get anywhere.
Now, Doctor did choose to go the long route while he still had control of the Zelmaga watchtower. He probably could have moved it on a slightly shorter path to the base. However, opting to go all the way around, that's going to be just fine for him. He is now in this fog of war area, dropping these Hellions, and we will see how much damage these Hellions can do. I'm not sure they'll be able to get in. They get one shot off, killing a lot of SCVs, doing good amounts of damage. Pewt not able to take those SCVs out of the base as quickly as he wanted to. These Hellions more than happy enough just to roast away those couple Marines that were sent to reinforce, and now they're still moving down to so much damage to all these SCVs. So many coming down, and now Pewt finally brings down the rest of his Marines and tank force to scare this away, but those Hellions are still able to drop into a lot of damage. The Marines are trying to take them out. They're finally being taken out, but let's take a look. 24 workers killed by that Hellion drop. Insane amounts of damage. 33 units total, so there were 9 Marines, it looks like, that got taken out in that attack, and the Doctor really playing very, very solidly. He hasn't made any sort of slip-ups at all, and now he's going to be moving out with his own Marine tank force. He does have one Viking that's going to help snipe any medevacs that Pewt may have, although Pewt doesn't have any medevacs, so this Viking may want to just land and help out with the ground army. Now the Doctor moving over to the dark area on the side, he may be opting to do sort of an elevator lift and push up this cliff, although that Viking spotted. The Viking's going to go down. There are 2 Vikings and a lot of Marines, but that is going to make Pewt wise about this attack. Just now moving his forces back in. These tanks are going to be able to siege up and do some damage, take out those Marines. They stimmed up. They were really excited about dying. And now stemming, moving in. Again, taken out. But now his own tanks moving in. He has a lot more tanks. Those are going to do a lot of damage to clean up this attack. Both of those tanks are going to go down. The Doctor will wisely not commit any more forces to this attack. Never mind, I'm completely wrong. He's going to be running this medevac in here, dropping Marines on the tanks, trying to force them to do some friendly fire damage. However, the medevac will go down. I don't know who came ahead on that. The Doctor still has about a 50 food lead, and he does have a nice amount of Marines to reinforce himself. and if we look at the unit counting station, there are only 25 mining SCVs for Pewt as opposed to 60 for the Doctor, so I really think the Doctor is going to come ahead in this game.
You know, the Doctor at this point can afford to trade armies. He's over 30 harvesters ahead right now. He can afford to trade armies. He's going to be able to back it up rather quickly, whereas Pewt is going to be unable to back up his Marines as quickly, and he's not going to have the minerals to both make Marines and SCVs at the same time. So as long as the Doctor keeps throwing forces right now and backing things up pretty well, he'll be able to deal with it. And because he has map control right now, he feels entirely comfortable taking this gold expansion. He probably could have done this while that attack was going on, back up at Purple Terran's base, but now he's going to be doing it. He's still going to be safe while it's happening. I don't think Pewt's going to be comfortable moving out for quite a while. Pewt now trying to take out the destructible rocks on the right side of his base to go ahead and take that back expansion. I mean, Pewt usually goes for the gold, but he's really feeling uncomfortable with that. He doesn't have map control, which is something that he has had in all of the past games this far. And it looks like the Doctor's just saying, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and move forward. I see you don't have anything going on, so I'm going to make sure you're not taking a third right now.
The Doctor is doing a very good job at keeping his forces moving around the center, trying to snipe any other units that will come in. Pewt trying to scout out and see where the force is. That Marine will get taken out very quickly. So he will move up, try and siege up his tanks, and try and block what he thinks is an offensive push. But the Doctor really is just holding on to the lead he has. He will now walk in and get a couple of shots taken on him. One Marine goes down, and there are no medevacs here to heal this army. Although another one is on the way. Will soon be out on the field. Yep, there's one. Another one just finished and will most likely be rallying down to the army. So we're getting into a small stalemate as Pewt does have a good position with these tanks sieged up here. However, the Doctor has the center of the map. He has this gold expansion. He has really free reign over the rest of the map, so he could go ahead and take every single expansion if he really wanted to. It's really the Doctor's game to play at this point. Pewt, however, does have his command center landed at his third. He does not have enough SCVs to transfer it over. And even at such an economic disadvantage, if we look at the resource station, Pewt just had almost 1,000 minerals in the bank. He's just not doing a great job at keeping his macro up and spending all of this money that he's getting. He really needs to concentrate, maybe drop down a few more production facilities, although he does have these 4 barracks in a nice little tight box here. I just don't think it's enough to keep up. And the Doctor...
There is a small drop going on in the main, but it looks like Pewt's going to be able to have Marines right there to take advantage of it, and the Doctor will have to pull that back. He is taking out the destructible rocks on the other side of this expansion. They will be able to move in and take advantage of the fact that there's nothing back here to protect it. It looks like, though, Pewt has a drop going into the gold expansion of the Doctor. They will get cleaned up rather quickly, given that the Marines from Pewt are only 1-1 Marines right now. Now, we do have the Marines pushing forward into that backmost expansion. That command center is trying to get away, but I don't think it will get away as Pewt goes ahead and pushes its units forward. But it looks like there's a big standoff going on right now, while the Doctor takes that opportunity to push at the front as well, with little Marine bombs coming down. Those Marines, the hell jumpers, I'd call them, just dropping right on top of those tanks, being able to take advantage of the fact that they don't mind shooting at their own friends. That drop was entirely unsuccessful from Pewt, and it looks like the standoff is going to stay a stalemate, and that's entirely okay with the Doctor, because as long as his opponent isn't expanding, he's going to get more and more ahead as the game progresses.
No drop did go ahead and happen in Pewt's base. This tank and a couple Marines able to come in here and do some good damage. However, it will get cleaned up by Marines and Pewt. Another drop was loading up for the Doctor. It is sitting over here at this other base, ready to go whenever the commander gives the command. The Doctor is almost maxed, and Pewt is really just above 100 food. The Doctor, I believe, just has a great lead in this game, and I think it's going to be... Oh, pause. I think it's going to be a pause. That's what I think. So, it looks like, I'm looking at my mini-map now, and for the people watching our stream, you can see where my mouse is. Looks like a couple command centers going down in the front of the Doctor's base. I'm not sure what he wants to do with these. He may be upgrading them all to orbital commands and just getting a huge amount of scans going on, or mules, or something, or whether he's going to try and upgrade those to planetary fortresses and use them to sort of wall off. We're seeing some discussion going on between the Doctor and Pewt, and we are ready to go. And we are back underway here in this game. Let's take a look at all these command centers. These SCVs working hard. This one's got some minerals in his hands. He really wants to take them home to a command center. And both players are on 4 bases, almost, as Pewt is just landing this orbital command here. However, the Doctor is getting in position to move in at this third. Unfortunately, Pewt is moving up. He unsieves those tanks, and now the Doctor's superior force is going to roll over that. The Doctor does have slightly better upgrades on his Marines. He has 2 attack and 1 defense. He has 1 attack upgrade on his siege tanks, as opposed to just the 1-1 upgrades for Pewt's Marines and no upgrades for siege tanks. He will be doing slightly more damage. However, Pewt was able to take a superior force to clean that up. However, another elevator drop happening in Pewt's main, as all his forces are being rallied over to that expansion base and taking a lot of damage in the main. More forces being slowly lifted up, tanks being sieged, barracks going down. Pewt is not even rallying any of his guys over there, only now taking some of his units to try and clean this up. Some of the SCVs coming off the line. I'm not sure if Pewt feels all in at this point, but he may as well be. The Doctor is looking at Pewt at less than 90 food, and there's the GG for Pewt. He wants Shakur's Plateau for Game 2. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will be moving into Game 2 of this semi-finals match between Pewt and the Doctor. It should be exciting. Until then, I am Nacho Cheese.
And I'm Unctuous.
We'll see you in a few minutes after a short break.